campus of Utah Valley University, where the Wolverines host the Utah Utes in the Wolverine Classic. The Utes are undefeated. The Wolverines need a win. Who will come out on top here in the final game of the Wolverine Classic? We will find out in just a moment. We are inside the PE building here on the campus of Utah Valley University for the final matchup here in the Wolverine Classic between the Wolverines and the Utes. I'm Matthew Biamonte alongside Steve Vale. Steve, the Wolverines have yet to win a game in this match, but they got one more opportunity to knock off the Utes, who are perfect on the year.
Yeah, they got a big match tonight against Utah. This is a tough Utah team, undefeated as you mentioned. They just came off a loss versus UCI, so they got a lot to prove tonight against a big Utah team.
Here, let's go to the recap from the game earlier this afternoon, where the Anteaters from UC Irvine were able to take down the Wolverines 3-1. And to be honest with you, Steve, the Wolverines probably should have been swept. They the Anteaters broke down in the latter stages of the third set. The Wolverines were able to take it, but the fourth set was all UCI. And that was a big win for that program, as they snapped a 3-game losing streak. So the Anteaters are on the climb, but it's the Wolverines who need to erase a losing streak of their own. And what a perfect occasion tonight against the Utah Utes. It's a Pac-12 foe, and I think it's a tremendous opportunity to get back on the right track.
Yeah, it really is. And the Anteaters, I mean, Utah Valley has been thrown into the deep end of the pool here this year. They've come up against some really big competition. Played BYU recently, able to sneak one away from them. But, I mean, this is a big conference, a lot of big teams. Utah Valley's got to really play their best to hang in there.
Let's stay with the Wolverines, and who are the key players, some players that we need to keep an eye on through this match?
Yeah, we talked a little bit last time we were on TV about Macky Treanor, the freshman outside hitter. This girl has got game. She could jump out of the gym. Very exciting player. You see her stats there. Also, Katie Fritz, the middle blocker, a senior this year. She put up some big numbers against BYU the other week. These are both really, really special players, but they're going to have a big night tonight.
Yes, they are, especially with the undefeated Utes in town. Let's take a look at the Utes and who are some players we should keep an eye on from them.
Yeah, middle blocker Bailey Bateman. She's a junior this year. She's got some pretty big numbers herself. Also, Leah Adolph, the libero, a junior this year. Both of these girls have got game, and they're on a very strong Utah team. So it's going to be tough for Utah Valley. Definitely a tough row to hoe.
Let's take a look at the Costa Vida keys to the game. Both teams have 3 keys each. What are they?
Yeah, the Wolverines have really got to take care of home court advantage. They're in their own house. They've got to dominate the net tonight. They've got to come out strong, play a fast game. If they can control the net and really stay in system, I think they got a shot.
What about the Utah Utes, Steve?
Yeah, the Utah Utes, a very big blocking team. If they can block well at the net and shut down the Wolverine offense, between that and their defense, the libero we just spoke about, if they can do that and they stay in system as well, it's really a serve-receive battle, as it always is. It's going to be a matter of who can get who out of system.
There are so many juicy storylines in this game. Can the Wolverines snap the winning streak of the Utes? Can the Utes continue to win and rack up the wins for a team that has come up with the best start in school history? We will find out shortly here on UVU TV.
Welcome to Utah Valley University, home to an educational philosophy that engages its students in hands-on, practical education. invite you to learn more about one of Utah's largest, fastest growing, and most dynamic universities.
I'm Joe Luce, an anthropology student at UVU, and this is my classroom. At UVU, I'm sharpening my mind and my skills.
If you're serious about going to college and getting a head start on the process, come get a feel for what university life is like. UVU Days are designed with you in mind. UVU Days are department-specific events held on Saturdays that will allow you to become a student for a day. These events are free and breakfast and lunch are served. It's a great opportunity to meet your future dean, professors, and advisors. Highlighted programs include business, science and health, education, humanities, aviation, dance, theater, and emergency service. For more information, dates, and times, please visit our website at www.uvu.edu/future students. Come experience what UVU has to offer.
Inside the PE building here on the campus of UVU for the final match here in the Wolverine Classic between the Utes and the Wolverines. Here's the Utes starting lineups. Starting for Utah, number 3, Bailey Bateman, number 6, Morgan O'Daly, number 10, Shelby Dalton, number 11, Chelsea Schofield, number 13, Leah Adolph, number 17, Aaron Red Brandon, and number 19, Kendall Segan. Steve?
Yeah, Utah Valley starters are pretty much what you've normally seen here for UV. Macky Treanor is going to start serving. She's an outside hitter. Brookelyn Hall, senior setter. Katie Fritzler, middle blocker. We spoke about her a minute ago. Kalani Norris is the right side hitter. McKenna Tate is your libero. Cassie Whalen is your, hang on, she's blocking on the right side right now. Hold on, maybe Kalani's the outside and Cassie is the right side hitter.
And Cassie was outstanding in the matchup this afternoon. She came off the bench in that one. It looks like her performance gave her a starting nod here this evening.
Yeah, she did really, really well.
One of the bright spots in a tough defeat against Irvine, and there's Utah keeping alive. Good effort there. Wallene. There's Kalani Norris blocked at the net. Utah still has possession, and they are a very good blocking team, Steve.
Yeah, they are. They're big. Kalani able to squeak that last swing through the net. Oh, nice touch there from Macky. A little layout there to hit that ball, but unable to keep it in the air.
Yeah, that happened a lot in the Irvine game as well. The effort is there, no doubt about it.
Yeah, that was a nice stab by her, but unfortunately unable to keep it up.
On
nice pass.
Great serve there by Morgan O'Daly, senior for Utah. Point Utah.
Yeah, Cassie tried to go a little too sharp angle there, rolled that off the tape and out of bounds.
Early lead here for Utah. They're on the serve. Number 6, Morgan O'Dale, senior. Good serve there.
McKenna Tate, a little trouble there. Nice up by Macky Treanor.
Freshman, she's playing well above her years. Point UV.
Utah cutting a little too much angle themselves and going just wide. Utah Valley dodging a bullet. McKenna's got a tough serve. That ball moves all over the place. Handled well.
Whistle.
Yeah, UV caught in the net, gone fishing early.
3-2 Wolverines. I think it's really important, Steve, that they start well to build that confidence throughout this match.
Yeah, they didn't win the match against BYU, but they served really tough, and that's what kept them hanging around. Another great dig, McKenna Tate.
Block.
Wow, that's a big block.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Tall on the front line, too.
Wow.
They have some tall players. Aaron Red Brandon, 6'3". Yeah, 6'3", 6'2", all across that front.
Yeah.
Wallene, Treanor.
Nice rip out of the back row. Pretty athletic move there from the setter, but that ball was just a little too low for the middle blocker. As you said, 6'3", and she had nowhere to go but into the net.
Yeah. 4-3 here. we've mentioned several times, and we'll do it again, Utah is off to the best start in school history at 9-0.
Wow.
That's impressive. The previous team had 8-0, so they broke that record here at this tournament, and they can keep the streak alive with a win this evening. What an opportunity, though, for the Wolverines to kind of rebound from a tough start to this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, in UCI, can't take anything away from them. They are a top school, and they've played some very, very heavy competition. And this program is just trying to get their feet underneath them right now. Nice swing, high off the block.
Impressive play there. That'll send Kalani Norris back to serve.
We'll see here, that ball pushed out to the pin, and Kalani just looking for high hands.
Good speed on that as well. Norris.
Nice serve.
Clears the net. Utah on the attack.
Wow.
Jeez, that was an impressive play.
That was. It's finally, okay, we got them out of system. Here's a nice chance for us, and then she bombed that ball.
Yep, that was the junior, number 9, Mackenzie Moiai. Impressive.
Yeah, that was a nice swing.
It doesn't take long to notice that Utah is their best start in school history. It's not a fluke.
Yeah.
Block again. But UV gets the point.
That was Macky Treanor going off the block and out of bounds.
One of our Costa Vida players of the game has just checked in. That is Katie Fritzler. Nice serve there by UV. Little drop. It's nice to have. Oh, what a play. Treanor.
Utah Valley showing they're pretty good at the net as well. Treanor, watch her. She's an exciting player to watch because that girl can jump. I mean, not like the rest of these girls can't, but this girl, she's got springs.
It's got to make Coach Atoa happy that he's going to have her for another 3 years after this. Norris, good play there. Sets up Treanor. Just too much height there at the net.
Yeah, that's a big block to go right into the heart of it. Nice job by the UV block to slow that down with a little soft block, but yeah, Treanor just going up against the Berlin wall there before it fell, obviously.
Sub for Utah now in, number 13, Leah Adolph.
Tough serve, but a pretty nice pass.
Great play there by Norris. It's nice to see the Wolverines in high spirits early on.
Yeah, I mean, look at it, knotted up at 7s in this first set. I mean, they're right there.
Right.
And that's just a big swing out of the back row from Kalani. Nice
Utes.
Pass, another low set.
Nice play there by Kenna Tate.
Wow.
Jeez.
A big swing down the line. I think she could tell that Macky was a little late getting out there to that line, and it was wide open. Look at her quick transition and thunder down the line.
Jeez, incredible. That is a tough play to defend.
Yeah. Another nice pass on a very tough serve. Wolverines.
Impressive. They're hanging tough. 8-8 here in the first set between Utah and UV. And I like what I'm seeing from the Wolverines.
Yeah, they've got to pick it up from the service line. Macky's got a pretty nice jump serve. She's got to start hitting spots. She misses that one, of course, as I'm talking about it. But she was bringing a lot of heat last match against BYU, but kind of serving right in their pocket. And if she can find a way to mix that up and go in between the passers or down the line, I think she'll have a lot of success.
Yeah, it's crucial for UV not to give up those freebies, I think, especially against an opponent like Utah.
Saved your life right there.
Nice. 10-8, Utes on a little run here.
Another big block from Utah.
On the serve is number 6, Morgan O'Dale. Treanor keeps it in play, and now it's going to set up a chance for Walling. Little drop over the top. Utah handles it.
Nice soft block from the Wolverines.
Try to catch Utah off guard there, but tough play by Utah there, and Wolverines take advantage, hanging tough.
That was a nice scrappy play defensively from the Wolverines. Keep that ball alive and then allowing Utah to make the error.
Yep. Sometimes you just have to play smart and wait for the other opponent to make the mistake.
That time getting a little help from the tape as that ball bounces away from the defender.
Here's the replay here.
Yeah, it looks like McKenna's in a pretty good spot till it goes off the net and down. Macky getting eaten up by that serve.
Utah. Oh, what an impressive block at the net for UV. Incredible.
Yeah, Utah Valley's got some size as well. It's not like they're a bunch of shrimps on this side of the net. Nice. Yeah, nice block there.
Stringham at 6'1". Kalani Norris 6 feet. Yeah, they definitely do have some size, and we've seen some tremendous blocks so far in the start of this match.
Yeah, we have, and that was a nice job by Stringham getting over there and closing up that seam. Clearly the outside hitter looking for that, but there was no room.
That'll send Cassie Walleen, the junior for UV, on the serve. Tied up at 11.
Tough serve, nice pass. Great dig.
Great play there by Treanor. She has started hot here in Orem. Another incredible play by Treanor to keep it alive for UV. Very impressive.
Oh, that time able to find that seam. But yeah, nice playing there by UV.
That was Chelsea Schofield, number 11, and she played high school ball right down the road at Mountain View, so it's tough.
Yeah.
See players so close to home.
Yeah, there's no elevation change on for her, that's for sure.
12-11, Utes up 1 in a very tight match, and there's a serving error.
One thing I noticed on that last play where it was a low set to the outside, and I'd like to see Kalani just swing for those hands and out of bounds instead of tipping, because it seems like Utah's all over that. Missed serve there.
Back-to-back errors for both teams, and coming into the game, number 7, Nakisha Wilden. She saw action in the latter part of the match this afternoon, and looks like her play in that one has earned her some trust in this one.
Yeah, and she's a nice player. I watched her a little bit against BYU as well, and she's got no fear.
Nice pass there. Utah.
Wow,
on the attack.
Nice set, jeez. That was beautiful placement on a back bump set.
Right.
Yeah, hard to do.
Here's the replay here on that. Incredible. Great timing as well there. Beautiful play. Beautiful. 14-12. U up 2. Now UV trying to answer.
Oh, wow. Great dig.
Nice play there by Wilden. Both teams laying it all out on the floor. And then what can you do about that? What can you do?
Yeah, that was a big swing to end that rally.
Yeah, that was
enough of this, Utah Valley.
That was the senior, Morgan O'Dale. Comes flying in and unloads a rocket. 15-12. UV still hanging tough, though. They're not right there. And we're going to take a timeout here. So the Utes are up by 3. Wolverines, though, are hanging tough in this first set in this match, in the final match of the Wolverine Classic. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in just a moment here in Orem, Utah.
The student section and cheer for the mighty Wolverines. Mighty Athletic Wolverine League sports passes are now available. Your mall pass gets you tickets to every NCAA home game, free food at the tailgate parties, prizes at the games, and lots of new friends. Get more information on their Facebook page or by calling Campus Connection at 801-863-8797. Go UVU!
People talk about life after college, you know, entering the real world. But this is engaged learning. I'm not just reading about it or watching someone else do it. I'm learning by doing. I'm at UVU. I'm in the real world every day.
Wolverines hanging tough. They trail by 3 here, but they are in a nice position to potentially steal a set here and really build some confidence. And what a win this would be for them if they were to knock off the Utes' best start in school history.
Yeah, an undefeated Utes team. That would just be absolutely huge. And they're right there, as you mentioned. I mean, Utah went up 13-12 on the side out, but after 2 quick points, I think it's a very smart timeout by Sam to try to slow that momentum down a little bit.
Utah serve.
That's
oh
not
my
good.
goodness, yeah. Cleaned up. by O'Dale. She's been everywhere in this first set. I mean, she's had incredible serves, and she has been aggressive at the net.
Yeah, that was a smart swing by her. That was rather a 50-50 ball and able to stay out of the net. That is a rally killer right there.
Yep.
Letting Utah Valley off the hook.
16-13. We've talked about how good Utah is at the net. They're so good, in fact, that they lead the Pac-12 in blocks per set with 2.7.
Wow. Yeah, they're a legit team there at the net. They're big.
Utah, it's O'Dale, rejected at the net by Wallene.
Nice.
Utah will just flip it over, and now Wolverines have an opportunity here.
Nice high hands. Such a smart swing right there to put that height and make that your advantage, not theirs.
These are the kind of plays that they weren't converting earlier, Steve, against Irvine, that they're converting now.
Yeah, just look for those hands and just hammer that ball off them all night long.
Point there for Utah, so back and forth here. Utah up 3, 17-14. Substitution. Wallene, Treanor, Hall, Fritzler, and McKenna Tate for the Wolverines. There's the serve by Aaron Red Brandon. Tate keeps it alive, and now Utah's going to have a good opportunity here.
Wow. Yeah, that's a nice swing out of the middle. And it's kind of funny when it's a perfect pass, you kind of think they're going to run the middle, but it's also, you got to stay on your toes to get up the outside, and that time she runs it, and the block's just a hair late, one-on-one there in the middle.
Red Brandon back to serve for Utah, a senior from Spanish Fork, Utah. So another one of those players that's right around UVU doing some damage. And we're going to take a timeout here. Sam Atoa, head coach of the Wolverines, taking an attack. Utes up by 4, largest lead here in this first set. What does UVU need to do to get back in it?
Well, they got to figure out how to manufacture points against a very tough team. I mean, there's really no leaks in the boat over there on the other side. They've got great passing. They're big. Their setter's got skills. I mean, we've watched her handle some pretty tough passes and put that ball where it needed to be. So, you know, what they need to do is serve really, really tough from the net.
Yep.
So if they can do that and try to get Utah out of system, maybe they can steal a couple back and then knock this thing up.
18-14. There is head coach Sam Atoa, 15th season here at Utah Valley University, one of the longer tenured coaches here. And he's done such a good job of bringing his program to the level that it's at now. I mean, they have one of the best winning percentages at the school in their athletic department. I think that's a testament to how good of a coach he is.
Yeah, he really is. He's been with Utah Valley a long time, and for good reason. The guy knows his stuff.
Can the Wolverines put together a little run here and make this a competitive finish here in the first set? And if there's ever a set to get one, I think it's this one for UVU to establish that confidence and belief that you can hang with a power like Utah.
Yeah, they've got to side this first ball right here. Oh, there's a lollipop of a serve. Jeez.
Treanor with the opportunity, and she delivers.
Yeah, she paid for that serve. Treanor went right back at her. And then I get it, you know, a lot of times out of a timeout, you'll see a team will miss their serve, and she's like, I am not missing this serve. But
Treanor has been unreal in this first set. Totally different player from what we saw in that other game. And UVU trails by 3.
yeah, she's an explosive hitter. Jeez, talk about explosions.
Yeah, for real.
Boom.
Incredible play there by number 3. That is Bailey Bateman. We mentioned her name in the Costa Vida pregame show. Junior from Hooper, Utah. Everyone can do it all over there for the Utah side.
Yeah.
No weak links.
Uh-oh.
Got to get it over here. And now Utah's got an opportunity. And they convert.
Yeah, it's a tough one there. That's a smart play, though, to tip that ball right where the setter's supposed to be, because she's wanting somebody else to dig it so she could set, and it falls to the floor.
Yeah, that's something that UVU has got to correct. We saw that a lot in that Irvine matches. There were just a lot of open spaces, and good teams like Irvine and Utah find a way to drop it in those spaces.
Yeah, that's the thing at this level. They're able to really even sometimes take a look to see where the defense is and put that ball where they're not. And Utah clearly finding the open floor.
Out of the timeout, Utah is still playing well. They're up 21-15. And it's going to take some hard work from the Wolverines to get back into business. Utah Utes, as we mentioned, are on a tear, but they're not the only team. There are 5 teams in the Pac-12 that are undefeated at this point: Utah, Washington State, ASU, Cal, and USC. Let's take a look at the head coach here, Beth Lanier. She's coached for the U.S. volleyball team each summer from 2009 to 2011. She's been a head coach for the Utes for a long time, longer than even Coach Atoa. And she continually attracts top talent to Utah. And we're getting a good front row seat of that talent tonight.
Yeah, she's got chops, that's for sure. Been with Utah a very long time, couple decades plus.
What kind of advantage do you think a coach like that has when they're able to stick with a program for so long?
Well, I mean, she clearly will know the insides and out of the athletics as a whole there over at Utah, and knowing that system so well and being able to recruit with the confidence that she does, of the record that she's got as the coach there. I mean, she's able to pull talent from all over the country, which is probably part of the reason why they are, what is it, 9-0?
9-0.
Yeah.
The one weak link I've seen so far, though, Steve, is they've just given a couple freebies away from poor serves.
Yeah.
But when you've got such a strong attack from the sides like that, incredible play there by Shelby Dalton, and there's not a player I haven't mentioned in this first set for Utah.
Yeah, I mean, everybody can bring it from the Utah side of the net. Utah Valley has got to figure out a way to slow them down.
Treanor with the dig.
Oh, nice swing.
She has been good. Fighting through a little bit of an injury. I didn't know this, but apparently she had 2 different surgeries, hip surgery and shoulder surgery in the offseason, and she's really playing.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's what the wrap is? I thought it was like a hamstring thing.
No, I think it's just, I don't know if she's 100% from the hip surgery.
Good heavens. Nice swing again, going seam. That right side, I was an outside hitter. That right side is a tough position because that ball's got to go typically all the way across your body, and you've still got to be able to see the block from over there, and she clearly can, as both those balls went high seam.
Tate with the floater.
Great dig again from Macky.
Gotta space the floor a little better, I think, as Utah is taking advantage of a couple opportunities there where there's just wide open gaps.
And there it is again, the setter taking a quick glance across the net and seeing a giant hole there in the middle of the UV defense.
Treanor blocked at the net by the Utes. Best blocking team in the Pac-12. I think UV's done a pretty good job of getting it through for the most part, but when a team's that good,
yeah,
they're gonna come through at some point.
Yeah, they're on a 12-4 run right now. Utah is.
Incredible. UV keeps their hopes alive. They got to string together a big run right here as they trail by 5, 24-19. Here's the replay of Kalani Norris. Strong play there. She is playing very well so far this evening. It's Walleen on the serve. Great dig. McKenna Tate keeps it alive, and Norris flips it over. Now Utah can finish it. Blocked.
Nice job, one-on-one. Great pass.
Hall sets it up for Stringham.
Oh, it's a good thought by Stringham. It was open, but she sprayed it just a little bit wide.
Utah, here's the final point in the first set, and just outside the playing surface. Good idea. I couldn't agree more with you, Steve. We're going to take a break here on UVU TV. The Utes have taken the first set. The Wolverines hung tough. What will happen in set 2? We will find out after the break.
don't think of myself as just an undergrad. Okay, so I'm a sophomore, but I'm at UVU where it's all about engaged learning. Leading a project on DNA research, I don't have to wait for grad school to get this kind of experience. As a UVU student, I guess you could say engaged learning is in my DNA.
Hi, my name is Tony. I'm a student with UVU Automotive, and this is my classroom. At UVU, you can graduate with a diploma and a resume.
Utes are looking for a clean sweep here at the Wolverine Classic. They've taken care of business against Idaho State and Irvine, and now they're trying to beat the Wolverines, who lost that first one. Steve, what kind of jumped off the page for you from that first set?
Yeah, well, it's not like Utah's hitting percentage was off the charts. They only hit .231, but they held UV to .094, which is not great.
No.
So there's that. Also, Utah just gave themselves more opportunities. They had 39 total attempts to UV's 32, and they had 7 more kills than Utah Valley. So, I mean, the serving was similar, pretty close. I think they had one ace to Utah Valley's 0, 17 digs. Utah Valley had 14. But I think the bottom line is Utah is able to keep that ball in the air on their side of the net and give themselves more chances to score points, and when they have those chances, they take care of business.
Yeah, and it doesn't hurt when you're so good at the net. Utah had 4.5 blocks in that first one, so.
Yeah, that's big.
UVU's gonna have to crank it up, but you know, with that being said, for the first 75% of that set, UVU was right there. I mean, I think there's some positives.
Right, no, I mean, they were right there with them all the way up to 12-12. Utah went up 13-12 on the side out, and they just off to the races.
And UV strikes first off the deflection from Utah. That'll send Cassie Walleen back. Here's the replay.
Nice swing there by Stringham, using the equipment a little bit. It's all good.
Walleen, now Utah will attack.
Oh, wow.
She has been outstanding today, Steve. I've been really impressed with the play of Morgan O'Dale.
Yeah, you can see here the Kalani got stuck inside thinking they were going to run it quick and not able to get all the way out to the pin. And O'Dale just capitalizing and just going high heat.
Kalani Norris blocked at the net, but UV retains the point. Good play there from Kalani Norris.
High hands, I'm telling you, all night long. It's a nice swing. Nobody home defensively off that soft block.
Norris on the serve, good serve there, and Utah will attempt to attack. Blocked at the net. Treanor, the freshman.
Macky's like, get that out of here. Yeah, that was not the best attempt. I don't know if she was trying to wipe that off her arm, but Macky just, not just blocked it, but she kind of spiked her spike a little bit there.
3-1, Wolverines up early. Set 2.
Oh, just wide. That was good as far as being deep. I thought it was going to sail long, but just wide. Utah dodging a bullet there.
Yep, and those are those points when you're fighting from behind that you just can't give up. You never know when that's going to come back.
Oh, tough serve, handled pretty well. Such a great swing from Stringham to go off the block and out of bounds. You don't want to challenge a block that big, especially when you're a little bit out of system. Ooh. Smart swing.
Yeah, good play there for UV. Up 2. O'Dale. Nice.
Up, geez.
Utah sets up now. Where's it at? UV with the
Valley.
point.
Nice job there laying off that one. That ball sailing just wide. Such a nice dig by McKenna Tate. That's like a beach dig right there.
This is where UV needs to string together some points. Take advantage of this opportunity up couple points here. What a play.
Macky. Big Mac. That's a smart timeout by Utah. They're like, what just happened?
I feel like I'm watching a different player, Steve, from what we saw. I mean, she was good earlier, but she's on another level right now.
Yeah, and this is what they needed to do late in game one, was to make a run like this and start manufacturing some points. They've been able to get Utah back on their heels. Tough serving, not very good passing, getting free balls, not necessarily free balls, but not great swings. Utah Valley passing it well and taking care of the ball.
Yeah, the hitting percentage is improved by twice as much as it was at the end of that first set, so they're hitting the ball much better in this one.
Yeah.
And something that I've been impressed with is they're taking advantage of opportunities that are presented to them.
That's the difference right there. Not only giving yourself the opportunity, but being able to close the door when you have that opportunity. And that's the thing, is they've been very good. And Brookelyn Hall's done a great job of distributing the ball and spreading out that Utah block, giving her hitters some one-on-one opportunities.
Here is head coach of the Wolverines. We talked about him earlier, Sam Atoa. Been at UVU for 15 years. In 1989, Atoa started his coaching career at BYU as an assistant, moved over here to UV, and he's been here ever since.
That is cool. Yeah, Sam's a good dude. I've known Sam since I was like 12. He and my older brother played at BYU 100 years ago, back before they were NCAA program.
He's seen the Wolverine program go from from UVSC to Division I, and now in the WAC. He's seen a lot of change.
Yeah, he's been here for all of it. Utah Valley, another opportunity, but that time spraying the ball just wide. Utah dodging another bullet.
Substitution there for Utah. Checking in is Kaylee Kirby.
Man, that's rough. If that ball's in, it's 7-2 right now. 7-2 looks a lot different than 6-3.
Yep. Treanor blocked at the net by Mackenzie Moyai.
Yeah, lunging for the pancake, but came up a little short. Breakfast is no longer served.
Nope, too late. Weekend as well. Fritzler tries to drop it over the net, and Utah was prepared for it. Now Utah had an opportunity to dice into that lead.
That was all McKenna Tate right there. Just that little roll shot right to the setter, making the libero have to bump set that ball. Not a very good location, and a pretty sad attempt at that last swing there to go down the line, and that was all net.
Timing was not good either.
No.
By the time she went to hit that thing, she was well on her way down.
Right.
Seven to 5 now, so Utah is regrouped a little bit, slowly shaving into that lead. Back to serve will be number 11, Chelsea Schofield from Mountain View High School, right down the road. Oh.
See, that's the problem right there, is Utah can so quickly get right back into it because they are a great serving team.
Moyai skied up there and delivered a heavy hit.
And another one.
Fritzler keeps it alive for UVU.
Yeah, that ball, I don't know if she was trying to set the outside or the back row, and I don't think they knew either, and blech. Yeah, that ended badly.
That's one of those communication things where you got to be on the same page.
Right.
7-7 now. Utah has fought back to tie it. And the defensive presence of Utah at the net has really shown itself the last couple points.
Yeah, you go from that hitting error, that ball just wide, they would have been up 7-2. Now they trail 7-8.
And at one point, they had an opportunity to go up, 7-2, and it's been a different story ever since then.
Ooh, that was almost a lift.
Wow, impressive play by UVU. I thought it was over. And it is now, but
smart heads up play there from the setter to see that big gaping hole again. Nobody home.
Unfortunately, that's happened too many times.
Yeah.
9-7.
That's rough for Utah Valley. Their momentum is toast, and it's all back on Utah's side of the net.
As a volleyball player, as you all know, would you rather have a run early or late? I mean, I think it's nice to set the tone.
Yeah.
But as we're seeing here, there's so much game left, it's easy for that to flip.
Early rallies are awesome. It's just a matter of being able to maintain after. Whether you continue to open up a lead or just side out well and maintain that lead. But to give it right back, that's not good.
All right, we have an interview coming up at halftime at the end of this set with the women's soccer coach, Brent Anderson. Looking forward to that. And I think Brent's got to be excited with the renovations that are taking place over at the soccer field. They're finally putting in a press box. They've expanded the seating for fans, so.
That is so cool. I used to play in grass volleyball tournaments over there.
On the field, on the Kyle field.
And now it's all track and soccer, and it's just a beautiful area over there.
Utah on the serve, Chelsea Schofield, junior outside hitter. Norris pops it up, and now it's going to be Tate flipping it over for the Wolverines. Too easy right now for Utah. That was Aaron Red Brandon.
Yeah, finally getting that set up where, watch how high that one is, right to the top of her reach, and perfect, up and over and down. Man, wheels have come off for Utah Valley.
No one is on the same page right now, Steve.
Yeah, it's funny. And talking to Coach Atoa before the match, he said, you know, we can do some really special things, and we've got some great athletes. We just need to maintain, throughout our entire set to make those plays. And they started so strong in this second set, and it's just unable to maintain. Great defensive play there.
Macky Treanor kept that alive, and UVU eventually gets the point, 11-8, so that stops the bleeding a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Kirby laying out and making a nice up there for Utah, but then that ball just hit wide.
And the hitting percentage, Steve, just continues to plummet at an all-time low now.
And, again, Utah isn't even at 200, but Utah Valley, was that block? Oh, I couldn't tell if that was the block or all tape.
I'm not sure.
I guess the block got a piece of it. Yeah, she's saying she didn't. I didn't think she did either. She's all, I didn't touch it. What are you talking about?
Coach Atoa comes out to talk with the official. 12-8 here.
Yeah, that I'm almost positive that was all tape and out of bounds. So Utah getting a freebie.
Utah's already had 54 attacks in this match. There's
Nice
the point
by Wilden.
So we got 12-9 here in the second set. Utah's leading 1-0, and into the game for Utah. Number 11, Chelsea Schofield back in. Also on the floor for the Utes, Morgan O'Dale, Mackenzie Moiai, Kylie Kirby, and Bailey Bateman. That's Schofield, and now O'Dale, who's been superb in this match so far.
Pancake. Oh, that looked like it was all hardwood. There you go, finally. That's a late call, but at least it was right. Boy, she took her time on that one. Yeah. But I think, yeah, you could tell just the way it came off the floor, even the sound of it. It was all hardwood.
Yep.
12-10. They weren't serving breakfast anymore. What's going on over there?
Utah.
Oh, wow, great set.
Wow, nice placement there by Mackenzie Moiai. Here's a replay of that, and just drops it right in the back corner.
Yeah, it was a beautiful back set there. She's set the ball a little bit low for her hitters tonight, I've noticed. They've been kind of just struggling to even get there to keep it in play. Wow, that fell off the table. Kalani, I thought she made the right call, but that ball just dropped into the back corner. But yeah, anyway, Utah is just lights out right now, 14-10 after trailing 3-6.
I think it was even 6-2 at one point.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Point for UV. That was Lauren Stringham there, keeping it close. But at some point, Steve, I've been waiting for the Wolverines to string together 4, 5, 6 points in a row. We just have not seen it.
Well, and it's tough. I mean, they've got the ability at the service line to do it. They've just got to, just missing that one. They've got to get after it at the service line. If they can get Utah into trouble, they've got the defense and they've got the offense. It's just a matter of doing that because Utah's passing very well right now.
Utah with 21 set assists in this match so
pass.
far. Whoa, what a play there
Stringham.
from the sophomore, Lauren Stringham, with an impressive play. And
Look at her push that ball all the way to the pin, spreading that Utah block out. Beautiful.
she has played well for the Wolverines. Her and Treanor have really been the standouts so far. Norris on the serve. And it's Stringham again. Stringham back-to-back points for UVU, and they have trimmed the lead to 2, 15-13. Got to continue that run. We got a sub here coming. Checking in is number 8, Jen Hardman. This is her first action of the day. She did not see any time against the Anteaters of UC Irvine. She's a junior defensive specialist setter. Blocked, Treanor, but Utah keeps it alive.
Oh, Macky. Big Mac. That is such a nice, I told you, that girl can get up.
Here's
she
the
just
replay.
Bombs this ball straight
Wow.
down.
So hard to make a play when they're able to hit it at the perfect height off the set. Great play there. And UV is only trails by 1.
Yeah, right back in this. Oh, that ball. Looking for hands and not finding any. I think she found the back wall, though. That ball looked like Scud missile.
And now it's 15-15 as Coach Beth Lanier comes out and tries to cheer her team on. She senses that the Wolverines have captured the momentum, and evening up at 1-1 would be big as they go into the locker room for a quick break.
Oh
my goodness,
what
that's
a bummer.
frustrating.
Beautiful dig off the green pipe. We used to try to bounce that pipe in here when we were hitting, but not off of a dig, of course.
16-15. Utes, that's the libero, number 13, Leah Adolph. And now Treanor. Oh, incredible play there. Good effort from Utah. Once again, back and forth.
Oh, there you go. There's a nice freebie for Utah Valley.
She knew it the second she touched it.
Sometimes you just get a little too hungry.
Yeah.
Just can't contain yourself.
16-16. Rate this one's been going. We're in for a wild finish here in the second set.
Seriously.
Utah, little drop. Nice play by UV, and then no communication there. Unfortunately, that's probably the third or fourth point that could have been avoided if we were on the same page over there for UVU, but
yeah, that's rough. Still hanging in there. Just down 1 on the side out.
served there by Callie Kirby, and Utah with the point, so they go up 2 as right as UVU equalized. Utah is putting together a little run here.
Yeah, Brookelyn Hall, not a whole lot she could do on that pass.
This is kind of where it got away in the first set.
Yeah, passing is everything. And being 6'3" is everything too. Wow.
Incredible play here. Wow.
Tough serving, that's what it comes down to. You get the other team in trouble. And that's been Utah late in the set both times. Just serving lights out. Utah Valley, all they can do is stick around.
Utah's had 67 attack opportunities so far in this match. They've got more kills because of that, 26-17. Their hitting percentage is better. And then, as you mentioned, the serving aces. And then also UVU has got more errors off the serve as well. So
yeah.
Utah has been serving better.
Yeah, I mean, Utah's almost doubled them up on the blocks as well. But yeah, 26 kills to Utah Valley's 17 in 1.5 sets. But Utah Valley hanging around. It's just going to be a matter of being able to side out this first ball out of the timeout and trying to put the pressure right back on Utah.
Yeah, as a player in this kind of situation, are you encouraged that you're able to hang, or are you more frustrated that you were right there?
No, I think 16-19 is not a bad place to be when you're playing an undefeated team. I think it's just they're thinking the same thing. They got to take care of this first ball. First things first, pass this ball. Everything else will take care of itself.
Kirby, yep. Treanor. coming back to Treanor.
Treanor with a set me pass, takes care of business. I played with a guy that used to pass like that all the time. The setter had no option but him after his pass. And if only he could take care of, only if he could take care of the ball as well as she just did.
Right.
Great swing, high off the hands.
1917, the freshman. We've called her name several times in this match. He's been sensational.
Wow, great location on that set.
Not high enough, and Utah hits it into the net, so UVU out of that break came within one. It's too low there.
Yeah, it is. Again, I mean, she's got such big hitters, and she just keeps putting that ball about a foot above the net. It's got to be a couple at least. There it is. That's a nice set there, and she's able to get the kill.
20-18, back and forth. UVU got off to a hot start in this set. Utah answered, and ever since then we've been back and forth. But Utah trying to finish this one out. UVU trying to string together some points here and equalize at one.
Nice swing, Macky. Boy, feed her the ball right now. She's feeling it.
Yep. Macky Treanor from Salem, Utah has been incredible.
Her seventh
thing that's
kill.
So incredible about Macky too is she's not, I mean, she's got good size, but at 5'9", she's nowhere near one of the taller players on the floor, but she has just been everywhere.
Right, and she jumps well, plays great defense as well.
Great play there by Utah, and another great play by UVU. 2019, crucial point here. Utah wants it, and they got it. Incredible play.
Yeah, unfortunately there was nobody there to hit the pipe when Kalani set it. So McKenna just had to put that ball over the net, giving Utah another opportunity.
That's Aaron Red Brandon on the serve for the Utes. He also had the last point for Utah.
Nice swing again. Not challenging the block, just using it. Going out of bounds off that block. Their 20th point.
21-20. Tight finish here. On the serve for the Wolverines is Katie Fritzler. Utah struggles with that one.
Oh, big swing though. I think she felt bad for that pass, so decided to just unload on that ball.
22-20, and this is a problem UVU had in this first game, Steve, is they'd hang tough, but they couldn't find a way to overcome that tie. They were never able to get in control, and it's hard to always be fighting from behind.
Yeah. Oh, they're saying a touch. Wow, up and over. OTT right there, over the top.
Shelby Dalton, 6'1" from Moab. And Utah can sense a 2-0 lead here in this match, 2 points away. They're gonna call on Stringham, and she delivers.
Nice ball there, Lauren. High swing across court. Running that slide very well tonight.
She has had a very good set and good match up to this point. Her and Treanor have been the story for the Wolverines, but it hasn't been enough yet. See if UVU can come back and steal one here. Great.
McKenna Tate again.
Great dig. UVU setting up. Hall passes, and now Utah has an opportunity cross court.
McKenna Tate again. Look at the freaking precision on that dig. Oh,
so close.
Spatches that ball just out of bounds. McKenna Tate just absolutely digging everything back there.
Fans are trying to root on the Wolverines. They gotta have this.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Tough serving, gets it done.
Tough breaks. Those final 2 points were so close to going the other way, but Utah Utes, the undefeated team, can smell and taste a sweep here at the Wolverine Classic. It's 2-0 here. We're going to take a break. We'll be here with the head coach of the UVU women's soccer team, Brent Anderson. We'll be joined with him next. We're going to take a break and be here with Brent in just a moment.
I felt that the NBA offered me the most in terms of what I could do with it once I graduated. It's international recognition. I could go to Europe, Asia, South America, and people recognize the name NBA. It means that the person that holds that degree has a certain level of understanding of business management concepts and practices, that they can understand what it means to follow best practices in accounting or marketing or sales, and I wanted to have that associated with my name.
Well, the goals that I achieved by enrolling in UVU's MBA program were primarily to gain a CPA so I could do more for customers in terms of going beyond bookkeeping. I also just wanted to make a change in life.
My main reason of why I ended up pursuing it was because of marketability. I wanted to be marketable in case I wanted to say I want to do something different down the line. And getting the MBA opens up those doors if you want to take that change in your career path.
They say the devil is in the details. And in here, there are a lot of details. Flavor, color, texture, temperature, presentation. It all has to be flawless. Pressure? Maybe. But with engaged learning, I get a lot of practice. And I'll bet your homework never tasted this good.
Utah Utes lead the Wolverines 2-0 here in the final game of the Wolverine Classic. We are joined by the head coach of the women's soccer team for UVU, Brent Anderson. Brent, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me tonight.
All right, before we get to a historic night that's coming up on the 20th of the first WAC game, I want to ask you, tell us about the season so far up to this point.
Well, the season started off a little bit slow for us. We've been on the road for 5 of our 6 games. And we actually have quite a few freshmen out on the field for us right now. We're a little bit young, and we're getting used to each other, finding out who does what and where we need to be. But we've seen great improvement game to game. This last weekend, we had a great offensive performance, probably our best of the season. So we're looking to capitalize on that and build on it as we get ready for the WAC.
And the WAC is knocking on the door. First home game in the Western Athletic Conference. It's this upcoming Friday, 7 p.m. Kyle Field. Tell me how you feel about that and how your team feels about it.
Well, first of all, it's a great honor that we get to represent UVU as we step into the WAC. Being part of that historic game will be very memorable for us, and it's a great honor. The team is pumped already. We're not looking past our match that we have tomorrow, but we're ready for that game. We've talked about it, and we've been preparing for it, and really it's kind of a culmination of a lot of hard work from different people in the athletic department and the school, and we're just excited to represent everybody.
You know, you just left the Great West Conference, and you had a lot of success there. How are you going to translate that into success in the WAC?
Well, the team knows how to compete and how to play when the competition gets tough. You know, as we step into the WAC, we know we're going to be facing tough teams. We know that we're trying to qualify for the WAC tournament, and this team knows how to play. We've been in that situation many times, trying to qualify for the tournament and playing in the tournament, and this team steps up when the competition gets tough.
Thank you, Brent Anderson. We appreciate your time. We're rooting for you. We're excited for your first WAC game this Friday. Make sure you are there Friday at 7 at Kyle Field, correct?
Yes, Clyde Field.
All right, we'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with some more Wolverine volleyball action here on UVU TV.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brent.
I'm Sylvia Bentley, an anthropology student at UVU studying ancient Peru, and this is my classroom. At UVU, I'm graduating with a diploma and a resume.
If you're serious about going to college and getting a head start on the process, come get a feel for what university life is like. UVU Days are designed with you in mind. UVU Days are department-specific events held on Saturdays that will allow you to become a student for a day. These events are free and breakfast and lunch are served. It's a great opportunity to meet your future dean, professors, and advisors. Highlighted programs include business, science and health, education, humanities, aviation, dance, theater, and emergency service. For more information, dates, and times, please visit our website at www.uvu.edu/future students. Come experience what UVU has to offer.
Oh, I want to go where the coconut grow, where the sun is shining on me. Costa Vida is where I want to be. Costa Vida.
Bus pass, $5. UVU t-shirt so you can impress the ladies, $25. iPod Nano, $120. A degree from UVU so you can afford your own car someday. Priceless. For everything else, there's student loans.
Wolverines trail Utah 2-0 here in the final game of the Wolverine Classic, but it can't be said that the Wolverines haven't had opportunities in this match. And I think the stats, I think they tell a good story.
Yeah, they do. And I think Utah Valley gave themselves more opportunities in that second set, and were able to capitalize on some of them, just not quite enough of them. But you'll see the total attack so far on the match for Utah. Look at the difference there. And the kills, 10 kills more than Utah Valley. That's huge. Hitting percentages are, neither one of them are huge. I mean, you look at it kind of like a baseball, like an at-bat average, and it's, you know, you want to be around at least 300 or so. So both teams are a little subpar there, but that just goes to really good serving and really good defense.
Yep.
But you'll see the digs there already in just 2 sets, 28 and 25. But Utah at the net, you've talked about them being the best blocking team in the conference, and they're showing that tonight against Utah Valley.
Wolverines and Utes have played some exciting matches so far, and unfortunately UVU's been on the wrong end of it. But who has played well for Utah and who has played well for UVU in your opinion, Steve?
Well, Utah Valley, we mentioned Macky in the pregame a little bit. Very exciting, very explosive player, and she's had a pretty decent night tonight so far for the match. And she's got 7 kills so far, leading the Wolverines, still hitting under 200, but you know, leading her team. And right behind her is Lauren Stringham. She's hitting 444 with 5 kills. So I might want to get the ball to Lauren a little bit more than they have. But you know, you look at Utah's side of the net, they've got only one other player with 7 kills as well, and that's the big middle, the 6'3" middle, Erin Red-Brandon, and she's just getting it done for Utah.
Yeah, and she has been serving well as well for the Utes. Well, the Wolverines, this is a familiar position for them. Their back's against the wall, and they've responded. They were down 2-0 against Irvine, and they won this third one, and then they kind of fell off on that fourth one. But typically speaking, UVU has responded, but they have got to take care of business here, obviously.
Yeah, this is where they stole one from BYU as well, was this third set. And, or actually maybe it was the second, but they have an opportunity here. They're at home, they got a pretty decent crowd.
Yep.
The Green Man Group, those guys are so awesome and they're so energetic. They really get it really loud in here and get the crowd involved, and that's huge. When you're at home and you know that all those cheers out there are for you, like it sends a little extra adrenaline through your body. And it helps you kind of get over the hump a little bit sometimes when you're playing an opponent that really in all aspects should beat you. But I mean, again, UV, they've hung in there tonight. They're, you know, 19 and 21. Yeah, pretty close scores for all things considered.
Quickly, Steve, what's one thing that UVU has got to do better in this set to come out on top?
They've had strings where they've served very tough and gotten Utah in trouble. If they can do that consistently throughout the entire set and really get Utah back on their heels and give themselves more opportunities, you know, create converts kind of a thing. If they can do that, they'll win. They'll beat them at least one set and maybe go on to take 2 off them, but they've got to be able to do that consistently, and that's been very hard for them.
And then on that 5th set, it's really anyone's game with the shorter game by nature. I mean, if you get off to a start like they did in that 2nd one, you're halfway there in that 5th set. But a lot of work to do before we
before we start talking about set 5.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they've got their best server back in the line right now, McKenna Tate.
On the floor also for the Wolverines, Brookelyn Hall, Macky Treanor, Cassie Wallin, Lauren Stringham, and Kalani Norris. Great play there by Brookelyn Hall to keep it alive. And now Utah on the attack.
Nice turn there. Utah getting the kill. Bailey Bateman, we talked a little bit about her before the match as well. Nice job. It's just a one-on-one there in the net. Lauren going one way. She's seeing the hands and going the other, across the body.
Utah on the serve. That's O'Dale, and not high enough. That has been their one weakness. I know we've mentioned this before, but it keeps showing up. They're giving UVU some free points by not being able to get the ball to the net on the serve.
They have, but at the same time, they've been able to serve pretty tough and create some opportunities for themselves. Oh, there, Lauren guessed right that time. Jumped right into the angle and took it away.
Here's the replay. Nice play there by Lauren.
I think she's starting to figure Bailey out a little bit and realize that she likes to go crossbody, and that time filled it up.
Treanor has played well, but statistically speaking, Lauren Stringham has been the best player for UVU today. And there's another one.
As you talk about her, she gets another block. Nice job there, closing up that seam. It can be so, what's the word I'm looking for? When you're a hitter, it looks wide open, and all of a sudden this middle comes flying out of nowhere to close that up, and you just get stuff blocked like that twice in a row. Thank you. Thank you for illustrating my point right there, Lauren. Such a nice job closing off that seam. That's beautiful.
Another hot start for UVU. Feels like set number 2 right now.
Yeah, it's just going to be a matter of, there's a nice pass there. Very tough to stop Utah when they're in system like that.
Lauren unable to get 3 points in a row for the Wolverines. Lauren Stringham. And now Utah is on the serve. That will be the libero. Number 13, Leah Adolph. Too long.
Freebie.
Yep. UVU's not going to complain about that. 5-2. Literally, I mean, if UV scores here, we're literally at the same start as set 2.
There's another tough serve, handled well though. Great pass.
And Utah wants none of that.
Yeah, you can't teach height.
Nope.
Nice
2
job
substitutions,
there.
9 and 12. That's Mackenzie Moyai and Callie Kirby. Played a lot in the first 2 sets, and Coach Lanier did not want them off the floor any longer. Hall, pass to Treanor.
Nice dig.
2 good digs. And Norris.
I thought that was going straight in the net. Nice swing by Kalani.
Kenna Tate sets it up for UVU. Stringham.
She just put a little more on that. Oh, that ball might have gone long. Maybe she saw a touch at the net that I missed. 5-4. Utah trying to close the gap here.
Back to serve is Callie Kirby, junior from South Weaver, Utah. And she delivers for Utah.
And they do it. We're knotted up at 5s. 3 straight for Utah.
Kirby. That's Treanor on her knees. And Lauren Stringham with a shot. Utah could not recover from that play from Lauren Stringham.
Lauren with another kill, running that slide. She's been so effective on that. Big seam on the Utah block, and she just drove a truck right through it.
Stringham on the serve, barely clears the net there. Good serve.
Oh man, that's just a nice play by Utah. Great pass. Aaron's up early. Set was perfect right there. No low set that time, and delivers cross court.
Aaron Red Brandon, the senior from Spanish Fork, Utah, has been very good for Utah. Schofield serves.
Ooh, not a pretty set, and she paid the price. Double contact there from Brooklyn.
A lot of times you can tell by the spin of the ball, and that one was spinning wildly out of control. Nice pass.
Ball to Fritzler. Nice play there by Katie Fritzler.
That was a great swing again, running the slide. O'Dale stayed right with her and decided to try to block the line. Fritzler goes back into the angle. Nobody home for Utah. 7 apiece. Brookelyn Hall, the senior setter.
Utah, they're going to call on Moiai.
Such a nice dig. Oh, it's so smart, and he's just out of bounds.
That corner was open.
Yeah, the defense was sneaking up to try to take the short ball, and she set that right over her head and about a ½ an inch out of bounds.
8-7 Utah. They've successfully overcome the early deficit off the net. Treanor to Norris. Is it in? Yes, it is.
Kalani, big swing, jumping backwards to hit that ball. Deep corner. Another beat shot. Nice jump serve, but handled well. And that was even handled weller. Can I say that? Even a better.
Right.
Nice swing there into the angle. Ay-ya. Boom goes the dynamite.
Bailey Bateman and Kendall Segan have checked in for the Utes. They have been so good at that this evening.
Yeah, that's been their bread and butter. Oh, another nice bump set.
McKenna Tate sets it up for UVU. A monster play, but out of bounds.
Just out of bounds. You go from being scared out of your mind to, hey, I'm a hero. Look, I used the block out of bounds. That ball just out of bounds.
Good effort there by Shelby Dalton of Utah. And it's 9-9. So once again, I mean, UVU has been right there through the first half of each set in this match.
Wow, what do you do there? That was just another over-the-top swing to the back line. Yeah, there's really no answer for that.
No. Seems like through the first 3 sets here, Steve, that it's been back and forth, and then Utah finds an area to exploit, and they kind of pull away.
Yeah, for sure. And that, again, cross court, across her body. Yeah, if you don't got a block up against that, that's going to be a very tough ball to dig.
11-9, Utah on the serve. O'Dale
just misses into the tape.
Yep, that's the second time she's done that in this set.
Utah Valley breathing a sigh of relief there that ball didn't climb over that net.
That's going to be Cassie Wallin, the junior. Played very well in this tournament.
Right into the heart of the block, and she takes care of business.
Great play. Lauren Stringham has been so good in this match against Utah. I mean, 7 kills, hitting at .462, 5 blocks as well.
Lauren with another soft block, another opportunity, and they get it.
Great play there by UVU. And Kalani Norris has quietly played a very good match.
Utah Valley goes up 1 here, almost halfway through this 3rd set.
12-11.
Takes the middle out again. Oh,
what a
shrapnel.
Wallin has been sound in this tournament.
Oh, tight set.
Lauren Stringham.
Okay.
Oh, great play. Great
13-11. How is the coach not off the bench for the timeout? Wants to see if her players can play through this and figure it out on their own.
Phil Jackson style coaching.
Yeah. You got yourself in this mess. You figure it out.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, trouble again. Oh,
Utah.
they dig it.
Incredible. Keeps it alive. Oh!
Macky Treanor. Huge dig. Hey, let him play. Come on. What are you calling that for?
What was the call there?
There was a net violation on the block. We're taking away a very, very nice dig from Macky Treanor. Tough serve. Geez, that ball
And Utah responds, and it's amazing how one call or 1 inch there can change everything.
Yeah, that's a very nice serve. They want to get Wilden in there, who's a pretty nice passer. But that's a tough spot to be in. She handles it pretty well. Nice dig. That was off the hand, so that ball was going to be in regardless.
Nice play there. Was that Norris or was that Stringham?
That was Norris with that final kill. Right off the hands and out of bounds.
And now Norris will serve 14-13, so UVU has been holding on to this narrow lead for most of this set.
And it's all about consistency at this point. See another low set.
Wow, Lauren Stringham came to play.
Someone needs to let Kirby know that that hitter is 6'3".
We're going to take a break here. This has been UVU's strongest set so far in this match. Can they keep it up? We'll know after the break here on UVU TV.
People talk about college like you're in some kind of bubble. Like there's college and then there's the real world. Hey, this is UVU. You're not just reading about it or watching someone else do it. This is engaged learning. At the certificate, associate's, bachelor's, or master's level, you're in the real world every day.
Hi, my name is Tony. I'm a student with UVU Automotive, and this is my classroom. At UVU, you can graduate with a diploma and a resume.
Wolverines lead the Utes 15-13, and they need this one if they want to continue playing. Utah is 1 win away from continuing a red-hot start to their season.
Yeah, they are. And Utah Valley has put themselves in the best possible position in this third set. Look
Nice.
at that up.
Jen Hardman. Great play by Jen. Now Utah, it's O'Dale.
What a great turn there into the angle. Man, that was a great swing away from the block.
I think the deflection threw Jen Hardman off there.
Yeah, I think she took that in the nose. That was luckily it wasn't coming red hot, but it was still hard enough that her eyes are probably watering.
Right. Stringham denied at the net. That was Chelsea Schofield, 6-1 for Mountain View. 15-15, just like that.
Yeah, that's a tough ball right there. 3 blockers up, and they just ate that swing for lunch.
Holy smokes.
Macky Treanor. Wow, freight trainer. That was such a big swing down the line. That's like 2 feet in front of the defense.
Wow. I think that's the shot of the night so far. That was incredible.
Yeah, that was a hammer.
Blocked. Oh! That's Fritzler.
Oh,
And
unable
then
to stop the second.
Moai delivered for Utah, 16-16. I like these tight ones.
Okay, I'm gonna, what's the trademark that? Freight trainer, that's mine.
Freight trainer, that's nice, that's nice.
Nice pass there.
That's
Running
Fritzler.
that slide.
Katie Fritzler, she's been quiet, but delivers there. UVU up 1.
That's such a nice play because it really spreads Utah out in the block and the defense, and it opens up the court. And she does a nice job putting that ball away off the hands and down.
Brookelyn Hall on the serve. Utah now, they're gonna dial up Moai and just
Over
couldn't
the
handle
antenna.
it.
Over the antenna, which is out of bounds. Pretend like that antenna goes all the way up into space.
Moai, a transfer. She started her career at UNLV. Found her way to Utah, and she has been good this evening. But she wants that one back.
Yeah, Utah Valley up 2 now. Could side out their way to victory.
Great dig there.
McKenna Tate again.
Treanor.
Look at these guys.
Treanor, 19-16, largest lead. And Utah wants a timeout.
Mackey bombing. Deep middle.
She has been so good against Utah. It's remarkable. And she was good earlier, but she has been great.
Yeah, she's only going to get better. She's a nice player. Wolverines
just finished up a tournament down in Arizona. Fritzler and McKenna Tate were both named to the Arizona Desert Classic All-Tournament team. And McKenna Tate's been good. Fritzler's been quiet. Has been Stringham and Treanor tonight. But Fritzler and McKenna Tate have been such good players for UVU over the years. Fritzler had 10 kills, 7 blocks.
Yeah.
And they're going to need both of them.
McKenna Tate has 13 digs tonight.
Wow.
The next closest is Macky Treanor with 6. So she is just digging everything over there.
And they've been remarkably better at successfully digging the ball and turning that into a positive possession than they did against Irvine earlier today. They just really struggled to keep that ball in play, but they've been better. And it's kept them around. Now they just got to get over the hump and get one.
Both Treanor and Norris with 9 kills on the night, both hitting mid-200s. They got to keep it up. They got a 3-point lead late in game 3 and really could side out their way to victory. They've got to keep the foot down on the gas and just keep rolling.
Brookelyn Hall on the serve. This is a big point here.
Oh, struggling and out. Oh, that was close.
Wow.
Just out of bounds.
Utah, they're committing errors in this set that they haven't typically committed in the first 2.
Well, I like that she's going away from the libero. It's so weird that a lot of times you'll see, and then, yeah, they knew she was going right back to her. Yeah, so they sub her out of the game.
In comes Chelsea Schofield, and out goes Tess Sutton. Hall on the serve. Same area. Tate.
McKenna again, almost getting that one too. She is such a nice defensive player.
She's been very good.
Almost chalked up her 14th right there.
Incredible.
To give you some perspective, Utah has 10. Their highest player with 10 with any digs has 10.
There's 14. Tate on the dig and blocked. Oh, Dale.
That's
she
all
has
right.
been good.
They had a little bit of a cushion. They could give one away. They've got to forget about that ball and pass this next ball and get to 21 right here. They cannot dwell on that.
Treanor, and they're going to go to Wallene.
That was, yeah, it's a smart call there. That was Norris, Kalani Norris going, trying to find the line and hitting that ball well out of bounds.
2019, so the Utes have responded with a little 3-0 run here to get right back in it, and now it's anyone's game.
Yeah, and now it's all about character. I mean, this is where it's down, it's on the line. It's really to get up and down early in a set, but when it's now crunch time, you've got a couple more plays. Rally scoring is so fast that it can just get away from you in a hurry, or you can get away from them in a hurry. So they've really got to, Sam's got to settle them down right here and let them know, hey, don't try to do it all with one swing, just one pass at a time, one set and one kill at a time, and then, you know, try to manufacture some reels as well, but just play your game and don't try to do too much.
Macky Treanor been so good for UVU. She has 9 kills in this match. Earlier in the year, in a 3-set match, she had 20 kills against North Dakota State. That's a UVU record, so she is capable and she's performing.
Unreal. Yeah, she was, what, Player of the Week a couple weeks ago, the first one for UV. Yeah, she had, what, was it 20 or something, like 26 or something in a 3-set match. And she, I mean, that's just crazy. That is a lot of kills.
Yep. They're going to need a couple more to keep this match alive.
Think about it. There's only one player in the match that has double-digit kills right now, and that's Aaron Red Brandon.
Which is a totally different story from the Anteater match earlier. The Anteaters had 5 players in double-digit kills.
Wow.
So UVU playing better. They're going to need to play a little better now if they want to get this one. Notched at 20. back and forth in this third set. They call on Treanor.
Oh, that's a tough ball right there.
Yep.
Wow. What's that, 4 in a row? 4 in a row for Utah to go up 1. Being down late.
I think it's 5-0 run, actually. It was 2016. And now Utah is on the serve with the chance to increase. I think we're going to learn a lot about this Utah team in these next couple points. How good are they?
Yeah.
O'Dale, the
Free
tape.
ball.
They're going to call on Treanor. And Utah's got it now. That's out.
Oh, it's such a nice eye there by Brookelyn Hall to lay off that.
Yep, right
Court
in front of
awareness.
us.
Yeah, that's nice right there. Because it's a lot of times if you're on a ball, you're like, no, I've got it. And you've got to just convince yourself to not make the play. Get the freebie.
21-21, UVU. It's Treanor on the serve.
Nice serve, handled well. Jeez.
Hard to defend that, Steve.
Well, yeah, and was it Macky that was there on the line to dig that ball? That came right by her face.
Macky comes out. In comes Nikisha Wilden. How long is Macky going to stay out?
Well, I think it's just really to get a passer in there that is maybe a little more steady. See, they didn't even go at her. It's so funny. They go right back to the libero. Any hands there? No hands.
23-21, and Utah is on a 7-1 run.
Yeah.
They put together a run like this last set.
Yeah, that's smart by Sam. It's the wheels have just about come off here. 7-1 run late in a set when you're basically in the driver's seat.
Yep.
And that's the thing, when you're a team like Utah, you can turn it on and off. And, you know, you can tell they were kind of coasting a little midway through the first set. They got down. The coach didn't call a timeout. Wasn't worried. It was kind of like, just play through it. And they did. And all of a sudden, they're up 3 or up 2 with only 2 points left in the match if they pull this out.
Yeah, and personally, I think I'm learning a lot about the quality of this Utah team because they have turned it on at the end of each set.
Yeah.
And
they know how to close.
Yep. 9-0 Utah. We've said this before, but it's worth mentioning again when a team is as good as them and set a school record for most wins to start a season. That is quite an accomplishment.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Can't remember what movie it's from, but I remember ABC, always be closing. And that is Utah. Boy, when it gets down to crunch time, that's when they get laser focused and they know how to play flawless volleyball and really put the pressure on their opponent.
Utah, 45 kills in this match. That's 13 more than UVU. They need a couple more to finish this one off. Can UVU get a point here, keep it alive? I think it's in, and it is. Squeaks in.
Wow, Kalani using the entire court for that side out. Look at that.
Barely gets that one in. Incredible placement there. 23-22. Tate, the libero, called upon here on this serve.
She's the one that could do it.
Wow, they get it over.
Free ball here for UV. And they do it.
Impressive.
It's all about creating opportunities and converting on those opportunities. And Utah Valley late in set 3 with their buses warming up.
Yeah.
It's win or go home.
And those are the kind of plays, Steve, that they hadn't been making earlier and they're making now. And now we're tied at 23.
Yeah, backs are literally against the wall right here.
Yep. Here are UVU's next 5 games. They're at Weber State on the 17th. Then they come home for Riverside and Wyoming. And then they're on the road again at Air Force. Here's the Utes' next 5 games. BYU, Utah. That's always a hot game. And New Mexico State, Colorado, USC, Washington State. So it looks like Pac-12 play is upon them. And the Pac-12 is strong. There is not a team in the Pac-12 right now that has a losing record.
Yeah, I'm telling you, California is volleyball country.
Yep.
There's some nice programs out of that state.
Who's a better program, USC or UCLA?
You know, that's kind of across the board with all their athletics. It's kind of a
yearly depending.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's both of them are just high quality. In the men's game, same thing.
23-23. It's loud. Fans are on their feet for UVU. Can the Wolverines take advantage of the home crowd and this run they've put together? They were down 23-21. They've taken the last 2 points, and now they're on the serve.
Another tough serve. Takes the middle out again. Man, they've got that hard cross dialed in.
Wilden unable to dig it. And now Utah is 1 point away. The Ute fans are on their feet. Wolverines, can they extend the match? Dale on the serve. She's been so good.
Oh, trouble there. Oh, she's in the net. The net's moving. There it is. That is a late whistle.
Yep. That's the second time today that we've had extremely late calls.
Yeah.
Coach Lanier not happy with it, but I think you were right. How do you miss that?
Sam was off the bench. Yeah, I don't know. Utah, I think she's really just trying to get in the ref's ear just to maybe he'll give her a call next time or something. But that was the right call. Late as it was, that was the right call. Brooklyn got there just in time to get the ball out of the way, and the Utah block just kept reaching and pressing until she netted.
Oh, Wilden couldn't dig it there. That's the second time they've won at her.
Yeah, that was a tough ball, but definitely playable. She wasn't able to keep it in the air. It went off the hands too, which I think kind of threw her off a little bit.
They're going to call on Jen Hardman now. She goes in for Cassie Wallin, and this could be the final point here. UVU. Norris.
Uh-oh, trouble here for Utah Valley. They've got to find a way to stop her, and they do.
What a block. Brookelyn Hall, the senior, 3-year starter.
Utah Valley hanging around.
Trainor's back in.
We've got the red-hot shoulder of Macky Treanor back into the match.
I think you love that a little too much over
I know,
there, Steve.
I like it. It's fun.
No,
I'm gonna get a train whistle next time. Oh, another big swing out of the middle from Aaron Red Brandon.
26-25. Utah, they've had a couple opportunities, and so far UV's responded. They need to respond again.
Yeah, it's tough, man. The tension just continues to mount when you're in this position. Another great pass.
They call it Stringham.
Boom.
And Stringham delivers for UVU. Stringham has been so good.
Yeah, that's such a nice swing. Big seam in the block. Hard to see from this angle, but she just bombs right through it.
And now it's Stringham on the serve. Can she deliver again for the Wolverines?
Going for the jump. Got the middle out of it again. Tough swing, just long.
UVU
Utah Valley finally able to manufacture a point, and they get the advantage here.
Wolverine fans are now on their feet. It's funny to look behind here. It's Utah fans 1 second. Now it's UVU fans pulling the one up, trying to extend the match. Stringham.
Oh, a low set again, but she's able to get it done.
Back and forth. This has been a seesaw battle in this third set. And UVU does not want to go home. You got to give them credit here for fighting to the very end.
And they've got to not let down right here so they can hang on to that advantage.
Yep. Treanor.
Wow. Bouncing the line goes Treanor.
Great play there.
Gutsy swing, taking that much angle.
Hardman's out. Looks like Fritzler and Wallin, Treanor, Kenna Tate, and Kalani Norris, the 6 for UVU. Utah.
Oh,
there it is.
We're going for.
Oh, impressive.
Woo, Utah Valley hanging around.
Incredible. Great comeback there. What a set. UVU is hanging around at home in their own classic. We're going to take a break here, and we'll be back for set 4 between the Utes and the Wolverines.
Join the student section and cheer for the mighty Wolverines. Mighty Athletic Wolverine League sports passes are now available. Your mall pass gets you tickets to every NCAA home game, free food at the tailgate parties, prizes at the games, and lots of new friends. Get more information on their Facebook page or by calling Campus Connection at 801-863-8797. Go UVU!
Welcome to Utah Valley University, home to an educational philosophy that engages its students in hands-on, practical education. I invite you to learn more about one of Utah's largest, fastest growing, and most dynamic universities.
We have been treated to quite an event here in the final game of the Wolverine Classic. That was an exciting of a set, as you will see in women's collegiate volleyball. UVU, Utah, back, forth, and then UVU came up on top. They've extended the match, and now what does the Wolverines need to do to avoid a letdown that we've seen in previous matches?
They've got to do exactly what they did in that third set. They've got to serve lights out. If they can serve really, really tough consistently through this fourth set, honestly, it's anybody's ball game.
Absolutely. And then, as we mentioned earlier, I still don't want to look too far ahead, but that fifth set, it's anyone's game. It's significantly shorter than the first four, and whoever gets off to a hot start is in control.
Yeah.
And that bodes well for a team like UVU, because at that point they would have won 2 in a row. Momentum's on their side. And yeah. Obviously, they got to take care of business here, but their serving was on point in that third set. And with the exception of a few missed digs there at the end, they were very good at controlling the ball and setting up attack opportunities.
Yeah, they had a pretty decent lead. What was it, 16-20? And then all of a sudden let in like 5 straight or 6 straight, and they cannot do that in this fourth set. They are not in a position to give let Utah go on a run against them, because Utah's just too good. If they get in the driver's seat, they got to just hang on and run.
So if you're tuning in just barely, you missed a unreal third set there. Utah won the first one, 25-19. They won the second one, 25-21. UVU was hanging around tight and let Utah go on runs late in those sets, and then we saw a thriller on that third one, and UVU came up on top 29-27. So fun to watch. Ute fans stand up 1 second. Wolverine fans stand up the next. And now we've got a very interesting fourth set on our hands here. When does fatigue set in? I mean, this is a long tournament in a short period of time.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's one thing we got to think about. Apparently, Kalani's not very tired. But, yeah, nice swing there. Cross-court kill. She put up 7 kills in that third set. She led the Wolverines possibly even. Yeah, she led the set, the whole.
She leads everybody
now.
Yeah,
everybody. Thank you. I'm like, how do I say that? But yeah. Oh, going for that cutty.
No good. So Moya, it doesn't deliver. And Wolverines have started hot in every set. They're up 2-0 here.
Yeah. And that's the thing. When you're up a couple, it's so much easier to try to put a little more on your serve because you're feeling a little more confident. And they've just got to continue to do that. Oh, that just sailed long.
About half a foot too long there. And quick sub for Coach Atoa as Jen Hardman checks in for Cassie Wallin.
Hardman, a little bit of a better defensive player back there.
Norris.
Oh, low set there.
Great play by the Utes. Nice dig. McKenna Tate has been great.
Oh. I guess that ball was on the plane because she was trying to set it. I thought maybe the blocker was over, but I guess if it's on the plane, anybody's ball.
There's Coach Lanier in her 24th season. 2-2. Norris.
Boom.
Great play there by Kalani Norris, and she is playing very well. It seems like she's gotten stronger as his matches went on.
Yeah, she is just red hot. I don't think there's any fatigue factor there. She is still bringing it.
Utah has an opportunity.
Wide open net. Macky trying to get back in time to close that up and almost did. She was very late getting there.
Yep.
And it looked like McKenna might have been on that ball until Macky knocked it out of her way.
There's a service error by Erin Red Brandon. She's been very good today for the Utes, and she'll take a quick breather. In comes Morgan O'Dale.
McKenna Tate needs to rattle off a couple here.
4-3.
Taking the middle out again. Another freebie here for the Wolverines. Trap set. Wow. Nice job.
Utah, is that in? Yes, it is.
Barely.
Squeezed it in on that back line back there. Great shot by Bailey Bateman.
Like she painted the, oh, it went off the block, I think is what happened there.
She has a very interesting tattoo. I don't know if you had a chance to take a look at that, but name that movie character.
I'm trying to even see. The Wolfman? I don't
Sweeney Todd.
Oh
Johnny
my.
Depp.
Oh my goodness.
That's an unusual
that
person
is
to.
Super unusual.
Utah keeps it alive. Get it over the net now. Wolverines have a nice opportunity here. And
Macky getting it done. High hands. Yeah, Scott Lee is coming over to the ref, the assistant coach, to say, hey, there was 4 contacts on that. And I was trying to figure it out myself, and I wasn't able to. No one was really complaining, so I was like, apparently not. But Scott saw it too, I guess.
Dig by Utah. 5-4 here, and into the net. So UVU up 2 here at home.
Utah Valley playing pretty darn good volleyball right now against a very strong Utah team.
It's safe to say, Steve, that they are playing the best volleyball of the tournament so far.
Yeah. Oh,
what a shot.
Cross-court swing.
Morgan O'Dale, they've been so good on that cross court.
Yeah, O'Dale is just hammering balls.
O'Dale and Moei have been nearly unstoppable when put in that position.
Right. You know, in that third set, she was 0 for 4 with 1 error. She hit -250 in that third set. Utah really needs her in this 4th one. Boom, Macky again.
Seven to 5. And that's going to be Macky Treanor back to serve.
High set in the middle, getting it done.
Treanor.
Nice pass, jeez.
Nice play there by McKenna Tate to keep it alive.
Boy, they've got that angle dialed in. The Utah Valley middle just cannot get over there to close that up. One of these days, the block out there's got to set up, show it, and take it away. Unable to do so far.
It's Norris, and she cannot keep it inbound, so 7-7. But UVU's got to be pleased with the start, hanging right there.
Yeah, they're tied up at 7s now. A couple of unanswered points from Utah. Tough serve.
Wallin, little drop, no good. UVU with it, and we'll just give it to Utah.
Oh, no, or not.
Yep. Those are tough ones.
Yeah, that's...
Can't be giving away free ones like that.
That's hard to watch when you're a coach. Nice pass from Kalani.
Oh,
and a better block.
Monster rejection from Shelby Dalton. Wow. One more time.
Man, low ceiling. Close the door on that, so that's like trying to hit out of a phone booth.
They're the Pac-12's best team at blocking, statistically. We've seen that tonight.
I think that cleared. No, and it did not. And just like that, Utah goes from being down a couple to up 3.
Man, it's, I don't know what the right word is, but I feel like I'm watching the same match I watched earlier this afternoon. Two quick ones from the visiting team. Wolverines respond, and then this 4th set is difficult for UVU. Can they come back and make it a game here? We'll find out soon here on UVU TV.
Olivia Bentley, an anthropology student at UVU studying ancient Peru, and this is my classroom. At UVU, I'm graduating with a diploma and a resume.
People talk about life after college, you know, entering the real world. But this is engaged learning. I'm not just reading about it or watching someone else do it. I'm learning by doing. I'm at UVU. I'm in the real world every day.
Wolverines trail by 3, but they've been able to respond several occasions this evening when Utah has put them against the wall. Now another opportunity to respond here. Blocked at the net. UVU keeps it alive, and Tate.
Trouble there.
Yep. Easy play there for Aaron Red Brandon.
Kalani was almost able to wipe that ball off the block and out of bounds, but it just caught the line. Up 4 now is Utah.
Dangerous position for UVU right here.
Big swing off the bump set from Brooklyn.
You got to have plays like that to stop the bleeding on a run. Utah's been so good today at putting those runs together.
Yeah, that's the thing is Utah Valley has just got to stay consistent, and they can't allow to give up those big runs to such a good Utah team.
Oh my goodness, catch the Wolverines asleep.
That was wide open.
The disappointing thing about that is Utah's been able to do that a couple times a set. UVU has been unable to find the holes like that for free ones.
Yeah, and Brooklyn likes to dump, but she just, I think she's done it once or twice, and I think both of them were picked up.
She's too busy assisting everyone, 35 assists.
Assist her more. Lauren needs more balls. Boom.
Lauren Stringham has been good.
Well, I'd like to see their hitting percentage with the slide. I don't think Utah has stopped them once. They are huge on that play.
12-9, and that's Cassie Waleen back to serve. Moei, they're able to dig that one out. Nice block.
Oh, into the net.
Oh.
Looks like that was Lauren Stringham pressing a little too hard. Nice block by Cassie, but taken away from the net violation.
Out goes Waleen, in comes Jen Hardman. Junior, 5'9". There is the hitting percentage for both teams. Yeah. And you can see that Utah has a slight advantage there, but both teams, the percentages are a lot lower than what we've seen in other matches in the Wolverine Classic.
Yeah, and I think that looked a lot different a few points ago when UV was in the lead, but then Utah went on that run and doubled up their hitting percentage.
That's Moei, too hard.
No.
What?
Utah Valley bailing her out as they net again.
Too many errors so far in this one. Silly mistakes.
Yeah.
When you're trying to mount a comeback, Steve, it's difficult. When you got to be nearly perfect. Wish they were in that third set, but it's been a different story here.
What a nice turn and an even better dig by Kirby. I knew that dump was coming. Ooh, that wasn't the prettiest set. Not the prettiest attempt either for Moei.
Nope. 14-11, UVU. Giving them credit for hanging for a second there. It looked like Utah was going to open it up, and UVU still right there, but.
Yeah, they're definitely in striking distance. She needs to stop serving Chelsea. I'm telling you, Chelsea Schofield has been nails in serve receive. She has passed perfectly.
Sweeney Todd on the shot.
Todd. Slicing and dicing. Uh-oh, Macky getting eaten up. Nobody home.
15-11. It's been hanging around this 4-point lead for Utah for quite some time now. Not time to panic yet, but at some point, at 16-11, at some point you got to put something together here. UVU. They're going to call on Treanor.
She goes right back at her. Stop serving me.
Kendall
Nice swing.
Segan has been. She's been targeted when she comes into the game. They're going right at her. And for obviously they're seeing something.
Another perfect pass from Utah. Wow. Woo! What a beautiful turn back into the middle of the court. I thought she was going to bomb the line too, and she just turned that hard. Nobody home. That was just about inside the 10-foot line.
Utah, they can feel it, 17-12. The height at the net, incredible.
Yeah, that tip didn't have a shot. That's a big block there for Utah.
18-12. Utah has 11.5 blocks, 2 in this set. As we mentioned earlier, Utah leads the Pac-12 in blocking. Let's take a look at UVU, and surprisingly enough, UVU is on a roll with enrollment. They are at 31,556 students, and they just continually grow and grow and grow, and they are knocking on the door of being the largest school in the state of Utah. They only trail BYU and Utah by a couple hundred students.
Yeah, I thought they had already taken that lead, but I guess they're still back.
They're still hanging tough with Utah, as you can tell. Utah, I think they have surpassed BYU.
Wow.
And BYU is maxed out over there, so they're not going to increase. And I'd say it's not going to be long before UVU is leading the state. I mean, they continually build new buildings here. There's a student wellness center going up that'll be open within a year. They're building new parking structures, new buildings, and they just. I always thought that at some point they would get rid of the open door policy, but it's hanging around.
Yeah, it's a big. I'll date myself. I tell you how different this school is from when I first started coming here. But let's just say it was Utah Tech and Utah Community College.
Oh man, not even UVSC.
No, then UVSC, then UVU.
Wow.
So it's gone through. In fact, the colors were like light blue and dark blue or something.
Wow.
Yeah, it's gone through a few changes.
Yes, it has.
Another slide attack and a successful one
for the Wolverines.
They almost need to run that play every time.
Yep. Run that play, and the times you don't want to run that play, get the ball to Lauren Stringham.
Yeah, for real.
Treanor on the serve. Good serve.
But it went right back to Chelsea, who dimed it again.
Can they get there?
Oh, McKenna almost able to pull that one back.
19-13. This is the time, Steve, where you got to make it interesting or it's going to get too late.
Yeah, they are running out of road. That is for sure. They cannot allow to bleed any more points. And we've seen them do it where they go on runs and they serve tough and get Utah in trouble. It's now or never. They got to side this ball and really get after it. That's not a great set.
Nope.
Not a whole lot Kalani could do with that, and didn't do anything with it. So now they trail 7.
Yep. Largest deficit in this set. They were hanging around about 3-4 for most of it, but struggling here, and there's another mistake.
The wheels have officially come off. We've seen this time and time again where Utah Valley will strike when the iron's hot and take one off of a bigger team, and then they just kind of, in that next set, they kind of let down a little bit.
And it happened as early as earlier today.
Yeah.
As they were able to take the third set against the Anteaters, and then the fourth one was all Anteaters, just like this one has been all Utah.
Yeah.
Now they're up 9, and at this point it's almost inevitable that Utah is going to.
Yeah, and rally scoring, a team doesn't come back from this.
Monster block at the net, and they can taste it.
Yeah.
A Wolverine Classic championship is basically there for Utah. They'll go to 10-0, best start in school history. It can't be long before they're ranked, I imagine.
Yeah, seriously. How are they not if
I
they're
know.
undefeated?
Right.
This will be their 10th straight win, and they're not in the top 25. How is that possible?
I don't know. 23-14, UVU still hanging, but this would be one of the most unbelievable comebacks I've ever seen if they're able to pull this off. They've got Katie Fritzler back there to serve.
Got Utah into trouble again. Big swing from Chelsea. off the hands and out of bounds for match point.
Subbing in for the Utes is number 9, Mackenzie Moyai, and number 12, Callie Kirby. And they are 1 point away. The Ute fans on their feet here on the road in Orem.
And that's not something you want to see on a game or match point.
No, no.
What would be even more tragic is if this serve was missed, but
oh man.
Tough serve, trouble for Utah, free ball coming.
UVU with a chance to extend the match some more. They call in Norris. Wow. And how fitting is it, Steve, that the final point is a block at the net?
Yeah, that's all Utah. That says it right there. They are so good at the net, leading their conference, and you can see why.
Yep. And they were so good today, and credit to UVU. I did think that UVU played their best volleyball of the tournament tonight, but it wasn't enough against a very good Utah team.
Yeah, that was some nice volleyball played on both sides of the net, but in the end, Utah was just too much to handle.
Bateman, Red Brandon, Moyai, Dalton with 12, 12, 11, and 9 kills. And UVU, it can't feel good to go winless at your own tournament.
Well, I mean, when you invite schools like that, you can't be super shocked that you did, though. And they hung in there a little bit, but, you know, these are some big programs they're going up against.
All right, we're going to take a quick break here, and then we'll be back, hopefully, with Coach Atoa for some post-game comments. So we'll take a break, and we'll be back shortly here on UVU TV.
They say the devil is in the details. And in here, there are a lot of details. Flavor, color, texture, temperature, presentation. It all has to be flawless. Pressure? Maybe. But with engaged learning, I get a lot of practice. And I'll bet your homework never tasted this good.
I'm Joe Luce, an anthropology student at UVU, and this is my classroom. At UVU, I'm sharpening my mind and my skills.
Bus pass, $5. UVU t-shirt so you can impress the ladies, $25. iPod Nano, $120. A degree from UVU so you can afford your own car someday. Priceless. For everything else, there's student loans.
The Wolverine Classic is officially over here in Orem, Utah. The Utes defeat the Wolverines 3-1. We are joined by Coach Atoa. Thank you, Coach, for taking a moment with us. And what did you see this evening from your team?
Well, we played better, you know, for sure. We played better, a lot better. It's probably the best that we played all weekend. And especially against a really good team and a big team. And so our kids can compete, and I think sometimes, you know, I told them earlier today, sometimes it's like you're either playing the mind game or you're playing the volleyball game, and they came and played the volleyball game tonight, and we fell short, and it wasn't without trying. And so Utah, they deserve the credit for winning. They were better than we were, you know, but we did a lot of good things that I felt like that we were hoping to be able to do throughout the day.
Yeah, you guys battled tonight, that's for sure. We talked a little bit for a moment before the match about how you guys have a very athletic team, capable of doing a ton, but there's just these little runs that your opponents will go on, and the consistency isn't quite there. What do you think you guys can do I mean, other than continuing to play these tough teams and getting accustomed to that, what do you think you guys can do to minimize those runs and keep that consistency there?
You know, we just have to go and practice. We got to put ourselves in those situations and probably put ourselves in a certain pressure situation to help us kind of get out of that. You know, it's just unfortunate because I think that you're running. I can't remember which sets it were. I think it was this last set and a couple of sets, 2-3 sets, where we went on a really good lead at the very beginning. You know, and then we kind of, like you said, we kind of find ourselves in a little lull there and just couldn't get in. They kind of tie it up, and so it's moments like that that we for sure have to be a better team at, and to do that against Utah, you know, with some success that we had, I think there were some things there that we can build on for sure.
Coach, we'll leave you with this final question. What can you take from this tournament that'll help you be a better team in the future?
Well, first of all, I think it's, you know, a lot of what we do is in our control. I think we can only control what we need to do ourselves and on our side of the net. So I feel like that if we're serving the ball well and passing, I think puts us in a really nice position for us to be able to do some things at the net, which it's one at the net. And so that's what we hope to be able to do and build on that and get ourselves ready when we go to Weber on Tuesday.
Thank you. That is Coach Atoa. We'll go to another break, and then we'll come back here and finish up. So thank you, Coach. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach. Nice job tonight, Sam.
People talk about college like you're in some kind of bubble. Like there's college and then there's the real world. Hey, this is UVU. You're not just reading about it or watching someone else do it. This is engaged learning. At the certificate, associate's, bachelor's, or master's level, you're in the real world every day.
Come join the student section and cheer for the mighty Wolverines. Mighty Athletic Wolverine League sports passes are now available. Your mall pass gets you tickets to every NCAA home game, free food at the tailgate parties, prizes at the games, and lots of new friends. Get more information on their Facebook page or by calling Campus Connection at 801-863-8797. Go UVU!
I'm Patty Garcia, a geology student at UVU, and this is Engaged Learning. At UVU, I'm learning by doing.
Final score is 25-15 here at Orem. 2 UVU players made the all-tournament team. Brookelyn Hall, Lauren Stringham. Lauren Stringham was especially good in that final set, but it just wasn't enough to get the victory.
Yeah, we'll see here from the stats. Utah with 10 more total attempts and 15 more kills throughout the match, but hit about 100 points higher. You see the set assists, Utah just leading in every category. Almost 10 digs, 9 digs more than Utah Valley, and 16 total blocks to UV's 10.
Yeah, we were talking earlier, I mean, stats 90 to 95% of the time tell the story, and tonight.
Yeah, that's the rule right there, and that's exactly what happened. Utah Valley, they hung in there. My hat's off to them.
Yep.
They're an exciting team to watch. Very athletic, very explosive. It's just those runs where they get up and then all of a sudden they just kind of let down or whatever, and the other team will come back, get back into it. If they can minimize those runs and really be consistent from the service line and in their passing, I mean, this match could have been a whole lot different.
Yeah, it could have. And I think Coach Atoa said it best a moment ago, that this is the best volleyball they played in the tournament. They were improved, but it just wasn't enough to overcome the undefeated Utah Utes. who are well on their way to having a very special season. They swept the Wolverine Classic here with the wins over UVU, Idaho State, and Irvine of California. And the Wolverines next up on the road at Weber State. So Utah defeated the Wolverines 25-15 on that final set. And any final comments from you, Steve?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I think there's a lot to build on here. This program, I mean, again, we mentioned it a couple times. They've been thrown into the deep end of the pool. Once they kind of get their feet under them and start to play at this level, they're going to continue to chip away at teams like this until all of a sudden they're going to get a win here and a win there, and their confidence is going to go through the roof. This is a program that within a couple of years is going to be competing on the same level with Utah and BYU and these other California schools that come in.
Especially behind the talented Macky Treanor.
Yeah.
He's Steve Vale. I'm Matthew Biamonte. Thanks for tuning into the Wolverine Classic here on UVU TV. Have a wonderful evening, and we will see you next time.
I don't think of myself as just an undergrad. Okay, so I'm a sophomore, but I'm at UVU where it's all about engaged learning. Leading a project on DNA research, I don't have to wait for grad school to get this kind of experience. As a UVU student, I guess you could say engaged learning is in my DNA.
Hi, my name is Tony. I'm a student with UVU Automotive, and this is my classroom. At UVU, you can graduate with a diploma and a resume.